we're asked to perform the indicated operation, and because a fraction bar represents division, we will perform polynomial long division. The first step is to put the quotient in long division form, which is the dividend, or the numerator, divided by the divisor of 9x squared plus 2x minus 3. And now to find the first term in the quotient, we only look at the first term of the dividend, which is negative 27x to the fourth, and the first term of the divisor, which is 9x squared. And we ask ourselves, what times 9x squared is equal to negative 27x to the fourth, which is negative 3x squared, which gives us the first term in the quotient. And we write the negative 3x squared above the x squared term of the dividend, which is here. Another way to determine the term negative 3x squared is to take negative 27x to the fourth and divide by 9x squared, which does give us negative 3x squared. Now we multiply negative 3x squared and the divisor and write it below the dividend, lining up the like terms. We have negative 3x squared times 9x squared, which is negative 27x to the fourth. And then we have negative 3x squared times 2x, which is negative 6x cubed, giving us minus 6x cubed. And then we have negative 3x squared times negative 3, which is positive 9x squared, giving us plus 9x squared. And now, just like performing long division with whole numbers, we now subtract. But when performing polynomial long division, instead of subtracting, it's easier to add the opposite, which means we can change this to addition as long as we change the sign of each term inside the parentheses, which means this becomes positive 27x to the fourth, this becomes plus 6x cubed, and this becomes plus negative 9x squared. And now adding, here we have opposites. This sum is 0, and then we have 57x cubed plus 6x cubed, which is 63x cubed. Here we have negative 49x squared plus negative 9x squared, which is negative 58x squared, giving us minus 58x squared. And now we bring down the next term, the dividend, which gives us minus 37x. And now we repeat the process, only looking at the first term in this polynomial, which is 63x cubed, and the first term of the divisor, and ask what times 9x squared equals 63x cubed, which is 7x, giving us plus 7x in the quotient. And again, if we need to, we can divide 63x cubed by 9x squared, which will give us 7x. Now we multiply 7x in the divisor. 7x times 9x squared is 63x cubed. 7x times 2x is 14x squared, giving us plus 14x squared. 7x times negative 3 is negative 21x, giving us minus 21x. And now we subtract, but instead of subtracting, we will add the opposite. So we can change this to addition as long as we change the sign of each term in the parentheses. This becomes negative 63x cubed, this becomes plus negative 14x squared, and this becomes plus 21x. And now adding, here we have opposites, this sum is 0. Here we have negative 58x squared plus negative 14x squared, which gives us negative 72x squared. And here we have negative 37x plus 21x, which is negative 16x, giving us minus 16x. Now we bring down the last term in the dividend, giving us plus 17 here, and repeat the process one more time. Looking at just negative 72x squared and 9x squared, we ask what times 9x squared is equal to negative 72x squared, which is negative 8, giving us a minus 8 in the quotient. Or again, if needed, we can divide negative 72x squared by 9x squared, which does give us negative 8. And now we multiply negative 8 in the divisor. Negative 8 times 9x squared is negative 72x squared. Negative 8 times 2x is negative 16x, giving us minus 16x. And negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24, giving us plus 24. And again, we now subtract. Instead of subtracting, we will add the opposite. So we can change this to addition as long as we change this to positive 72x squared, this to plus 16x, and this to plus negative 24. And now we adding opposites here, we get 0. Notice here we also have opposites. We have negative 16x plus 16x, which is 0. And then finally we have 17 plus negative 24, which gives us negative 7. Because we have used all the terms in the dividend, negative 7 is the remainder, which we write over the quotient. And therefore the final answer is negative 3x squared plus 7x minus 8 minus 7 over the divisor of 9x squared plus 2x minus 3. Notice because the remainder is negative, we have minus here. If it was positive, we'd have plus. I do want to mention another way that the final answer can be expressed. It could also be expressed as negative 3x squared plus 7x minus 8. And because the remainder is negative 7, sometimes we'll just say the remainder r is negative 7. But expressing the final answer in this form is probably more common. I hope you found this helpful.